Famine Studios. I am your host, Famine. It is a Tuesday, another wonderful Tuesday. I see we've already got 4 folks waiting in the chat. Let's say hello to our friends. Hello, guys. Bjorn, Sarah, fighting over who gets to be first. Start a line. Yeah, I'm going to be working on small stuff today. Going over how to add things like details, glue little bits and pieces onto things to add details that they're small, but they add a big effect. You know, anything from like base dry brushing to just a wash. These little things that add detail to the smaller stuff that makes it more lived in, because it's easier to have tiny things like this, small containers, and just leave them as is. But if you have something small and say you weather it, it looks like it's lived in a world, and it's a tiny little container, and you can put things. A lot of these you can put stuff in them if you're like me and you remember how to open them. But like, they're small. You can get them for RC cars. That's what I got these for. 1/18. Sorry, mustache hair. No, cat hair. 1/18 scale and 1/23 scale RC car like accessories and decorations. They sell these little cases, and I guess you could put little RC car pieces in them. So I've done some of those before. Sarah loves the small things. Thank you, Bjorn. Love the shirt. One of my Firefly shirts that I chopped the arms off of. I also have these tiny little porta-johns. I'm not going to do anything with these. I think I'm going to paint them up and put them near the Ansel. I'm going to learn it. Somebody throw it in the chat so my brain can read it and I can process it. Anzillians. Fucking Babu Frick and his people can use the tiny little bathrooms. I could not manufacture that sentence to come out of my mouth. Cut the sleeves off. Yeah, well, the shirt in the show that Jane is wearing actually is sleeveless. I actually think it's collarless too, but I didn't pull up the Anzilians. I didn't pull up the picture to check, so I didn't cut the collar. I was like, I'll wait, and then I just didn't do it. But it's been hot here, so part of that was trying to cut the sleeves off the shirt to cool myself down. But yes, it is very, very Zilla of me. He'll pop in. He likes to stop by. But I've got some small labels and stuff that I had forgotten about, little stickers and things like that. These came with those cases, so I think we can use them for like some decor. Just little odds and ends, like tiny things, like tiny little gas tanks and stuff. I'll show you guys how to, like, if you scuff it up and weather it with, we can either do pigment powders or paints. Just really easy things, but it adds a greater effect to your stuff. And I think it just helps, right? Because a lot of us are world builders, or we're miniature makers, or people that like do dioramas and are just artists. And sometimes they say the devil's in the details. And you know, as a cosplayer, I used to live by what was called the 10-foot, or excuse me, the 6-foot rule. 6-foot and 10-foot rule is where if somebody's going to be standing from, say, here to my wall for me, are they going to notice in the overall thing? That's great for that. And it could be for world building if that's your jam, but like, I want, when people get down and look at my stuff, when I do fly-throughs and videos through and stuff like that for the channel, I want there to be detail. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go completely insane making some of the details. I could, but I don't let it drive me crazy. I just add little things that add value, as I used to call it, production value, and it makes the stuff more realistic and more cool. And it's like, if you have a market and there's a bunch of shops, right, but there's like no magazine racks or like stacks of things for sale in there, it's like, yeah, it's a market. And then, but if you go by a market and you look and there's boxes of things and like stuff set up, so it's like, I want to include things like that, like I have, you know, in other things. But these are just going to be like a series of small little things that we're going to work on today to add some character and detail to other stuff that might otherwise, you know, just get set down, like get placed someplace, and touch up a couple of the things that I've done for other projects. So I'm about ready to get started. If you are new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, stick around. We do stuff like this. We do world building. There are fucking spaceships and things, and there's a city, and it's bananas, and then sometimes there's dinosaurs, which are, where's the dinosaur? Oh, there's the dinosaur. There's a dinosaur right there. So we do stuff. So smack the like button and let's get into it. I'll bring you guys right down. All right, so I think the first thing I want to do is I had initially done a bunch of small stuff in there. I had initially done a brief like wash over this of black, and while that's cool, I think we can add some more detail to this, and I think we can actually add some like physical damage. What's up, Red? Which I like to do with just a X-Acto blade and a little bit of sandpaper. So we'll do a sanding stick. This will be we'll keep it simple, right? Simple never hurt anybody. Gravity. So we'll just work with these two tools for now. So this is just like a metal toolbox. It's got some cool like clasp details, some stuff on the top that adds character. So we can just go ahead and, it's a toolbox lid, right? So people constantly stack things on there, you know, push stuff around. So we'll put a couple of scratches. Maybe I'll flip the blade over and I'll just add little digs, push it away. A couple of things like that. And then we'll go to, like, say, we'll go to the edge and we'll take the rougher bit. A little bit there. A little bit there. Because, again, if anybody's had a toolbox in a machine shop, the thing's nice for about a week, maybe. If your coworkers are halfway decent, and then they just destroy your shit and pile things on it, and you throw it around and move it, and, you know, we'll put some scratches here, because I've seen, like, guys that'll, like, when they go to put their tools in the toolbox, they'll use the hammer that they're working with or whatever to flip the lid open and then just toss the tool in, right? So that's going to do some damage. Little bullshit like this makes me happy. A couple of scratches in the front there, and be careful while you're doing this. Like, so that's done, and now I'm like, all right, do I want to make this with paints, or do I want to do this with chalk pastels, right? And you know me, I love the chalk pastels, so I'll do some chalk pastels on this, since it already got that kind of janky wash that I did a while ago, which is fine. It's not bad or anything. It's not hurting anybody. Got the brush I want to use. Now I'll use the usual brush that I use for this task here. So I've got this little brush that I like to use, and how I get my pigment powders off these. And this is just like a, what was this, like a $5 set I got at Joann's or Michael's, of just the cheapest chalk pastels I could find, right? And then I just use my X-Acto knife, make a little bit of dust, I pack it on the brush, I tap a little bit of it off, and now I'm just gonna go over some spots, and then you can see it starts to pick up that kind of vague hint of rust. A couple of spots maybe where there's like the handles, where there's hand oil, right there around the lid, a little on the top here. And I just pressed it into just chalk. You want chalk pastels. You don't want the, there's other ones that are softer and they kind of have like a binding agent to them. You just want regular cheap old chalk pastels. I know some people who go as far as to, like, they get a sheet of sandpaper and they set up a tray with little containers, and then they sanding stick the chalk dust into the little containers and have each individual one. I don't mind if there's a little bit of color overlay. I'm not doing anything else with these but weathering. So and this brush is stiff enough to where I can do this, where I can come here and get a little bit of the black or they're dark brown. So just put that on there. A couple of spots. And then let's get a little yellow in the mix, right? Because why not? Stiff brushes. These brushes are stiff. They've had their Viagra. And there's Snowflake yelling to be let in after she begged me to let her out. She didn't beg, she just kind of sat at the door looking at me all pathetic. So now it's got some more character to it. You could add stickers, like, you could add decals, because I know people like to personalize their toolboxes. So here, we'll do this. We'll grab one of these little stickers here. I don't even know what the frig it says. And we'll just, like, put it on here, kind of haphazardly. We'll bend the corner over, press it down, make sure that's got it good on there. Then we'll take the softer side of the sanding sticker, the less abrasive, or more abrasive, I forget how. It's got the smaller stones on it. Yes, Snowflake. Excuse me, guys. Come on. Thank you, ma'am. Stay out of gimmick, please. We already had to fish you out of there twice. It's getting tired of standing shit back up. You know, and now it looks like just a dinged up sticker on there. That's a little bit of world building. You could take it a step further, right? You could go over into your, like, collection of stickers that you have right here. I don't know if any of these, like, look like one that I would put on a machine, on a machining thing. They don't always have to, but I don't know. I kind of like that type of stuff to at least blend a little bit. So let's see. I've got all sorts of stickers and logos and things like that that I've saved. So we can take a look together real quick. This is just tissue paper. I saved this for diffusing in windows where there's light. Let's see, we've got blanks that I can make stickers on. Again, we've got these types of sheets with weird symbols. I kind of like that one. Maybe I'll put that on the toolbox there. They came from a kit to help people with vision issues. My grandfather couldn't see jack or shit when he had his laptop, and he never used the laptop, so they just kind of collected dust. So I've been using them for various things. My old, I don't know how much I can show, but it's my old learner's permit there. So I've got, like, puff stickers that I can use for signage and stuff. The little mushrooms and things, bowl of soup. Yes, ma'am. It's just stickers, honey. She was all set to jump up here. So I've got some Ghostbusters tech stickers and things like that. Little charts from my Proton Pack kit that I did. You know, more of the other stickers and stuff. Then I've got my transparencies for my neon signs that I can make. You know, the fancy, sexy space lady signs that are neon that, you know, advertise like a space nightclub. Those type of things wouldn't go on here. But then I've also got, like, personalized stickers and stuff like that, you know, I could use those on a sign at a club or something. So, you know, I'm going to grab, just to make it interesting, I will grab a sticker off of here. I'll grab these two. So I'll just cut these right out of here. There we go. Cool. And I'll just set those aside because we might come back to those. We might not. I don't know. But I'll do this one here. This looks like it would be something on a guy's toolbox. Maybe it's like a reminder or a code or something that he's got to scan when he starts his work. Or maybe she, they, the droid, whomever. I don't want to limit to just like one person utilizing a toolbox, but you know, this obviously it belongs to somebody who's been personalized a little bit at least. And I'm going to check the chat in just a moment, but I want to get the sticker on here first, and then you just pop it off the sheet by using your X-Acto blade and struggling the entire time in front of all your friends on the internet. Alright, and we'll put this one, yeah, we'll snap that right there. Alright, that's on the front. Maybe that's an identifier of like whose toolbox it is. And again, we'll take this, the rougher side, just take some of that sheen off of it. Now the finer side, a little bit, and then where's that stiff brush that Jess likes so much? There we go. And just dirty that up, dirty that one up a little bit. And we've got a toolbox, a tiny little wee toolbox, and you can actually put some shit in there, and it looks like it's seen a thing or two. Let's see who's in the chat. Ant's in the chat. He just came in. Ian's in here. Good morning, Ian. Trip D, what's happening? All right. Everybody's making it in. We're doing some stuff. We're doing some wee stuff today. So we kind of like personalized this toolbox, made it look a little bit more lived in. Could go as far as to like glue a handle on the front of it, but I don't want to, but I could. You could do that. That is an option that you have in life. But yeah, little toolbox. That was like super easy. It's just little shit like that. Like all you got to do is find a little container. You could if you get a little cardboard box, you could do something very similar. You could paint, Mod Podge it. Then you paint it black, then you dry brush it silver, so it looks metallic, and you've got a little box that you can put in the background. It doesn't have to be in focus, and it looks like something real. Speaking of Boys in the Hood, I've got this little boom box. I think this came from the Fortnite figures, and I gussied it up a little bit. I think I want to personalize it a little bit more. Maybe with some graffiti on the side or something like that. And, this could be sitting on somebody's workbench or in an apartment window, or somebody carrying it down the street listening to music, walking through Gimmick, or on a dinosaur's back blasting tunes or an advertisement. Radio-free Gimmick could be playing over these speakers. So let's take this. We can put these aside for now. I don't necessarily know we'll need them, but let's think here. We could add some graffiti to the sides. I'm definitely feeling that. I'm thinking like a sticker or something. I'm thinking some type of sticker. Just something that adds like a little bit of like character to it. Where did those other pieces go? Give me 1 second. I had some neat pieces. I think they're socked away over there. Let me see. Nope. They made their way over here somehow. Snowflake, we're not doing the in and out, honey. You'll come hang out, or you'll go out there and you'll stay out there and harass Mama Snow and the other cats. Oh, look at that. She decided to stay. All right, yeah, we'll use this little oval one. It's some brand for these RC cars, but like people did used to do that. They'd put stickers and shit on their stereos to like make it theirs. So we'll do that here. We'll put it on there. We'll press it down. We'll make sure it's good and on there. Let's do a little graffiti. That's too big of a tip. That's what she said. Piece of paper. Just need a scrap of paper here, guys. Cool. We'll do... I'll just do a splash up piece. Nothing fancy. Official Peanut. Can I see one of your art characters? Well, I'm working on these things right now, but I'm sure I'll show something off before the end of the stream. Welcome, welcome. I am Famine. Okay, so we'll do some graffiti on there. Just a little scribble piece. Just a little something to make it pop a little bit more. And we'll grab traditional red marker with a fine tip, because there's buttons on here that I never colored in, and you gotta have the red button, the red record button. And then what other, we'll do green. What do I use to make these things happen? You're watching it, my friend. I use found objects, I use pieces of toys, pieces of models, garbage out of the trash can, 3D printed pieces, resin printed pieces. I have no children. You can't prove a damn thing. So like, just adding the couple of dots there for the buttons makes this a little more complex, right? And we can keep that going. We can do blue for the remainder for that bar there. It's true, I do paint garbage. Let's get some blue on there. Blue on that button there. That button there. And maybe on top of that one blue button, because I'm feeling froggy, we'll do gold. Where I see a couple of spots where we could put gold. Right there. Right there. And then we'll see this little vent here. That's got gold on it. And it's just, these things add value. Thank you very much, Peanut. It adds value to the piece and makes it look like more. It makes it look more interesting, more something to look at, other than just the plastic. I think it was like blue or something like that when I started. And it is, it's just small little details like that really make things pop and stand out. So now we've got like a little boom box that can sit on this crate. There we go. It's already more interesting. This one I'm not sure what I want to do. It's clearly jumped out of my hands. It's clearly a small fire extinguisher. I want to have this thing on the wall over by the door of the warehouse. It's got a fire extinguisher label, but I feel like this thing could be red, so it'll stand out on its own and like look like a fire extinguisher from a distance, so you like know. And I think I'm gonna skip the verbiage on there. It says portable fire extinguisher. I don't want the basic on there. I'm just gonna cut out the yellow flame that's on the sticker and use that as the label. So I think I will sand this down. Ah, you are red. Just Scotch-Brite this down, take the shine off of it. Because again, I want this thing to be red and hang on the wall and look like a very clear fire extinguisher. Like this is something you would grab to put out a fire. That's what I need it to be. And official, you asked. It's a little box from a toy set, and that's what I used to make. You know, weathered it, added some stickers. So I got that. Now I want to use some red paint. Sorry for shaking the table. On occasion, I do awesome things. We're going to use Cardinal Red from... Is this Cardinal Red or is this Royal Red? Red Apple, excuse me. Red Apple from Apple Barrel. And I'm just going to grab... I forgot to clean that brush. Son of a gun. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the already convenient holding thing. Handle and thank you. All Star, welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome everybody. It's true. I have many hats. I'm a famine of many hats. And to anybody who is new to the channel, what's going on? My name is Famine. I do world building streams. I make miniatures, 1/18 scale figures. That's some bad hat, Harry. Star Wars themed, usually space, sci-fi, Jurassic Park, those types of things. I also sometimes do 1-to-1 scale cosplay props and, you know, just neat stuff, art stuff made by a person, not by AI. So be sure to... I do have the best hair on YouTube, and certainly I have a face for the radio. So thank you for joining us here in our little neck of the internet. I have a 1/18 scale city that I'm working on, a spaceport, a starport, and something that I've been working on for some years now. And this is where we gather when I work on these things. And there's other videos that I have, short form content, long form content. I tend to stick to lives. It allows me to talk to people, you know, make connections, explain myself a little bit better when people, you know, ask a question, they don't quite understand what I meant by something. Gives me the chance to answer it right then and there. That dry for a minute because this is the worst paint for this, but that's what we're using. Yep. I do love that film. Dawn of the Dead is a timeless classic, and I really love the zombie genre. I am a writer. I write zombie fiction. I have a book on Amazon. It's called Tales of the Undead. You can go check that out. And I am also in a few collections of zombie horror and other horror books that are available on Amazon. But we don't usually chat my writing around here. Yeah. I'm not cool. I just dress that way. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. So that's drying now. So we've got another thing that we can take a look at here. As I did this years ago. I am too sweet. Any horror movies that I can recommend? Man, I haven't watched a horror movie, like gone out of my way to watch a horror movie in a long time. I think The World is enough for the horrors. I like classics. Like I said, I love classic zombie horror. The original slasher films from the 80s, the 70s, early 90s. Obviously Scream, those types of films. So I have this thing. It came from Star Wars, that much I know. I think it's supposed to be like an ammo crate, and I had painted it, and I'm just not in love with the paint job, so I think I'm gonna scuff it down, dirty it up, and turn it into some sort of piece of equipment. So first thing I'll do is I'll take the Scotch-Brite and just go over the paint on here. The black and yellow just didn't do it for me. It was a good idea at the time. The thought was there. I was like, oh, I'll just follow the pattern that's established on the material and do that. Who just $5'd me? Meowdy. Ah, the cowboy hat. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah. And I'll just use the sanding stick again. Get some of this stuff down. This paint. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I want this to, again, my world is very lived in. My science fiction that I like there are places where I'm like, oh, this should be really clean, and nope. Nice. I'm glad you made it home, Jess. Take your shoes off, stay a while, relax, pet the cat. So I've got a lot of that off. That's fine. I'm gonna paint over it. But as I said, like tools and equipment, I want things to look like they get used. They exist in a world where people actually put these things to use, and they're not just sitting neatly on a shelf. Every character that is in Gimmick Starport, save for a couple that I just haven't painted yet so far, are actually all hand painted by me. I agree, petting the kitty does make things better, and that means two things. But every character that's in my world, every piece over there, every ship, every dinosaur creature, every sci-fi thing is going to be custom. This project started as a mental health project for me back when the lockdown started to become a very long thing. And just since then, it's continued. And I really like it, and I get to hang out and do cool artwork and visit friends and shoot the shit. So if you like that sort of thing, please stick around, stop by our lives, hang out, chat in the chat. The folks in here are kind most of the time. If they don't, I spray them with water and I yell bad. Okay. And thank you again, Sarah, for that super chat, if I didn't say it already. Reach out to you, as a matter of fact. Oh, yes, it being a mental health thing. Yeah, I mean, number one is I love toys. I love customizing. I love painting. I love making these things. But more than that, it gives me an opportunity to make things as I see them, or show things as I wish they would be, tell stories, exercise my demons, as it were, which sounds really corny, but like, you know what I mean? Having a rough day, and I come and just work on like a monster or something like that, and it's like, man, that helped me resolve whatever, I was having a difficult day. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. And, sometimes I'm having a good day and I just want to, have fun. I'll just work on my art and enjoy myself. Like, just come in here and chill out. It's a great way to shut off the world, too. Like, I'll kill the lights and I'll turn on the multicolored lights and just... We'll send some sightsee over. Meaning, this cussing machine, Warhammer nerd in your youth. Yep. But now we've got a red fire extinguisher. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit longer, and then we'll slap that sticker on there, and it's gonna go, boom, right there by that door. It's gonna go right by that door, that says warehouse in Arabesh above it. Thanks to Anthony for the sign. Thanks to Rad Toys for the door. I was able to paint that up, but the fire extinguisher will go by there. I've actually got somewhere saved in one of my hard drives Star Wars like safety posters that would be in like a workshop. A lot of them are tongue in cheek, but I can shrink those down and print those up and stick them over there as like a, because that's a shipyard. That's where things land and whatnot. And I actually mounted another shipyard or another landing pad right there today before the live stream. All right. So we've got this thing. I've hit it with some sandpaper. We're going to paint it. I'm thinking I'll start off with black. Again, the Apple Barrel cheap stuff, $1.99 for this bottle. It's probably $2.50 now. Just inflation and tariffs, and even though this is made in the States, somehow things go up with tariff. I just work here. I am absolutely great for putting on in the background. I love to hear myself talk. I will talk for hours if left unattended. It's one of my talents and one of those things that I'm sure irritates enough people about it. Sarah, so Apple Barrel paint definitely has its uses. I just don't love it. I wish it was heavier pigmented. It had a heavier body to it. It's for the cost. Yeah, Liquitex is really good. I do prefer model paints for a lot of this, but when I'm like base coating something or giving it like a whole, base coat, primer coat as it were, I'll use this stuff. Because like I said, for the value, yeah, if you're gonna be doing some stuff and you want just like a very basic acrylic paint, the coverage, it doesn't give me the level of coverage in the paint that I want from my first coat that a lot of other paints meet that requirement for. And it's like I said, it's very inexpensive. That's one of the best things that it has going for it, is that it's cheap. It's readily available, which is also something too where people, they want to get into the hobby or they want to start painting and whatnot, and maybe they don't want to spend all kinds of money on good paint before they know if they'll enjoy themselves. I tend to still encourage to buy at least one set of good paint. And if you hate it, if you have a niece, nephew, kid, or somebody that you can give it to, or you can also sell it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever if it doesn't work out. I just find that having a good set of paints makes painting a lot more enjoyable if you work with something that's good to start with. Yeah, I prime Triple D. You've seen I prime everything. Even things that like don't need primer, I will still go over it with Mod Podge as a primer or black paint as a primer, just to hit everything with fists first. I will fist. There you go. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Just black the bottom. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's like some type of charger cell or whatnot. So we'll turn it into that. It's got some pipes on there with some holes. Wildlife Colors paint. That's a brand I've never heard of. Last week we did use Liquitex on last week's stream for weathering. They're student acrylics, they're basic student acrylics. Really heavily pigmented. I really like those paints. Now, if you are airbrushing for weathering of fabrics and stuff, if you guys ever get into like cosplay, or maybe you're working on a Halloween costume or whatever, water this down with Windex, regular window. You can get the dollar store brand. Don't get the ammonia or the vinegar kind, just regular window cleaner to the consistency of about skim milk, and airbrush that on all like your collars and your seam lines and stuff. You don't go heavy with it. You just gently airbrush it on there, and it'll look like really good weathering. Any recommendations to airbrush t-shirts or hats? Get a Pash airbrush, single action, to start with, and get yourself a good compressor. But as far as like costuming and stuff, acrylic is great for that, great for weathering. And same with, you can also use chalk pastels. Don't do that. Probably just took years off my life. Alright, so looks like our little fire extinguisher is dry. I don't care which way it's going to hang on the wall. I'll put that sticker on there. Just open them up and sample them from time to time. Just still good. I believe I shared the story about my coworker who would fucking lick his the paintbrush to do detail work. Little industrial fire extinguisher now to hang on the wall. Safety. I worked in aerospace. We used a paint that when it is aerosolized, this paint is considered radioactive. It does have a half-life, all those wonderful things. But when it's not aerosolized, it's considered inert. It's still got a lot of horrible shit in it. There's warnings all over. You have to wear a certain PPE. We're working one day, and I'm watching this guy, and he's got, the Radium Girls, and he's got this thing that he's working on fixing, and I watch him lick his paintbrush, dip it in this paint, and start painting, and I'm like, weird move. All right. He then licks the brush again, dips it in a little bit of paint, puts it on his hand, goes back. I watch him do this like 4 or 5 times, and he keeps licking the brush and touching this fucking poison. He's putting it on his bare skin, and it's all going to his liver. And this stuff is like the worst stuff. And I see hobby painting, like miniature painters will do that too. They'll lick it because saliva. Not for me. No, not with the paint. The Harbor Freight compressor. I don't recommend. I mean, unless you're outdoors, you're working outdoors, and you don't mind the noise, because it is a noisy compressor. I was gifted a very nice compressor that I use for my airbrushing. But I don't airbrush on stream, and I don't airbrush in here right now because I need to be able to ventilate that out, because I have all the critters in the house, and also I'm not a young cat anymore. I need these lungs to last, so starting to take care of myself. You know. Let's do up this tote too. We'll throw some graffiti on this little guy. Start off with a white, matte white war paints. I'll just do a couple of bubble letters on here. Oh, we're plugged up because the titanium in the white absorbs moisture and then just fucking gets rid of it. Harbor Freight gummies. Every time I eat these, tuning in soon. Hey, thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Harbor Freight gummies. You're sitting there. Why does my ear always hurt when I eat these things? Laser printer. There you go. Oh, it doesn't do color. Well, be a good excuse for you to learn how to color. Which paintbrush do I want to use for this task? It's a Famine Studios mystery. Here we go. I'm gonna erase this printer. Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna make it look like bubble lettering on the side. So I'll start with like a white base. I'll just do a couple of weird oblong shapes, and then I'll let the markers, the paint pens, kind of tell me what the design is and how I finish it out. Okay, sounds good to me. Just something like that, and I'll do one on the top too. We'll do a smaller line. Replay squad. Have a good sleep. Yeah, I feel like Harbor Freight gummies would just your left ear would stop hearing every time you ate them. And I'm not trying to be shitty at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has saved me. Harbor Freight has saved me so much money and helped me repair things in a pinch, and I have tools that have lasted longer than industrial brands. So, I'm not entirely shitting on Harbor Freight. However, some of their stuff they gotta know. Oh, yeah? Snowflake has a lot to say. Ugh, WD-40. Fucking flavor. That's a flavor that's hard to get out of your mouth. College in the 80s, am I right? Okay, so we got this thing here. I'm thinking... I don't know. Drink pineapple juice. I'm talking about the WD-40, not the other stuff. You alright over there, buddy? I made a joke. Well, I made a reference today on Facebook about Walmart is doing a summer ween thing. And they have pineapples, but they're like carved up to look like jack-o'-lanterns. And I said, do I need to get one of these to hang upside down on my door, on my front door? bunch of people were like, oh, I'm so excited to get that. Yeah, I'm going to get one. You should get one too. I'm like, y'all missed the whole pineapple upside down on the door thing. The people that get it got it, but there's a lot of people who just had no freaking clue what in the wide world of sports old Famine was saying. But also, funny Halloween decoration. Would be good in a tiki bar, too. Where is the super glue? I'll let that dry first and then I'll worry about glue. Well, I guess I won't. It's just completely peeling itself off of there, so I will just push that Mod Podge in there. Okay. Look, you don't have to stick, but it'd be nice if you did. No, Snowflake's not crying. She's, nice. Hey. She's cleaning her beans right now. You better do a good job. Those are your turd burying paws. What'd you find, gold? I love you. I love that cat. She is a grade A human being. She found something. Let's see. Where's that silver paint pen? And we'll use the gold one, and we'll use the silver. Where are you? Silver paint pen. Famine, why don't you just pick up the tote and look? Why don't you mind your business? I don't tell how you had to look for your silver paint pen, do I? No, I don't. Primarily because I didn't know you had one. Are you not in here, silver paint pen? Is that what I'm being told? Oh. Thanks, guys. You know, you're real fucking help. Thanks, Snowflake. You were supposed to help me. She's like, I'm busy. I got feet business. No, she is. Snowflake is a very, 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 very fishing aisle. Yeah, that's where I get them. I get the fishing ones, the tackle boxes. She's a very clean kitty. Very particular. She gets something on her paws. She will spend the time and clean her paws. Just doing the gold around the teeth, or whatever these things are. Make it look like, you know, like a giant battery cell or something that has like the gold-plated prongs, connections. I don't know. That kind of screams sci-fi to me. like the data chip that the plans for the Death Star were on had the gold on the white, something like that, right? I don't know if this is data that's on here, but it's certainly something that hooks into a machine, and the machine does something with it. And that's precisely what we needed to do. It's the MacGuffin of Gimmick Starport. This thing is whatever I need it to be for the heroes to progress and win. And it's just a different thing. Holy crap. I have that cage attached to that green truck on the back of your shelf, but not the truck. That one? Yeah, that rolls off the back. That crate. It's from the Imaginext Jurassic line. I bought it at a yard sale from a kid who wanted $15 for it, and I talked him down to $5 because I'm a fucking monster. It was great because the kid's dad was like, I didn't even pay $15 for it. Why are you trying to get $15 for it? And the kid's like, because I want money. Dad's like, you're not going to get money like that for used toys, buddy. I'm like, yeah, now you're learning. Now here's a life lesson. I'm going to pay you what this is worth to me, if you want it. And he was like, all right, I'll take 5. I was like, great. Can you break this 20? I'm terrible. Oh, that Famine guy, he's the worst. Hey man, I sold all my Ninja Turtles for $25, and that was a big mistake, so we all learn things. And I'm just painting the little end here. Some of this red paint. Because why not? See? Oh my god, are you looking to spend all your money or get... I'll talk you into buying anything. I'm awful for that. Like, my friends are like hemming and hawing about something, and I'm like, no, get it, absolutely. Absolutely get it, treat yourself. Get yourself something nice. Come on, you know you've looked, you've seen things, you passed up a couple of stuff. You've already mentioned it twice now in the car how you wished you had picked up the thing at the last place. Get it now, and then you'll have it. See how easy that was? How natural that came? Now, I haven't even looked at the Prime Day stuff yet, my friend. That did start today, that's right. Alright, I just put a little bit of black in there, in all the little holes on that like exhaust pipe looking thing. And now I'm just gonna wipe off the high points. I know, my stupid day job getting in the way of my fucking online hobby purchasing. Ridiculous. That said, anybody's buying anything from Prime Day, let me know. I can send you the affiliate code from me for it, or the affiliate link, and it'll make it the same price for you, but Jeff Bezos gets less money and I get some. So everybody wins. Yeah. Just adds a little bit of detail to it. A little bit of detail. And that's, I'll call that done. I'm not even gonna. I'll put a sticker on it to make it look official. Famine, you're really going heavy on the stickers on things. You're kind of leaning on that. Is that gonna become your new crutch for detail work? Hey, why don't you fucking mind your business, buddy? All right. Sometimes I just like to put a little sticker on something. I'm just saying, Famine. Well, nobody asked you. $17 years. Come on, Lenore. Gotcha, bitch. Sorry, I'm trying to get the sticker off. Huh. Do it, lady. Where'd the sticker go? Oh, there it is, stuck to my shirt. Well, that's good. At least we know the adhesive is working. Here we go. Nope. Why are you not sticking to that?
Doesn't want to.
Okay. That was mildly terrifying. There we go. Come on, Lenore. See? Just a little thing. Dinky grease and vitamins. I think you have to be a Prime member, though, Adam. If memory serves. If only he knew what you were doing with all that grease. You alright, Bjorn? Alright, let's see here. Alright, here we go. Turn that the fuck off. Jesus Christ, my nipples are getting hard. People usually gotta pay extra for that. That's Azrael outside the door yelling. Oh yeah? She loud. Azrael. Actually, that sounds like Mama Snow. Just put my finger right in that paint. Yeah, do. Because they're Who's Clues. No, that's Azrael. Just stupid little graffiti. Doesn't need to say anything. Just needs to, when you look at it in the background, you want to see that and be like, oh, that's graffiti of some sort, or that's like markings of some sort. Does not have to be anything fancy. Doesn't have to be anything that you can read. If you really wanted to spend the time, which you guys know me, I have been known to do, I will sometimes take the time and make things say stuff and detail things, but in this case, there's no real point to that part, right? Like, there's no real reason to make that much effort into it, so. No, I'm thinking purple. Perp. We'll do, pink. We'll do pink. What's going on in the chat here? Aw. Pseudopod roleplay. That is true. When I flexed my guns. That's not, I'm just pushing the down button. I'm not trying to like get rid of anybody. There we go. Miss Azrael. Love you. No, I'm not going to let you in. Nope. Because you're going to do one of two things. You're going to jump up on my lap and then climb up here and step in the paint and then scratch me in a panic. Or you're going to try and climb up into Gimmick again. And we're not doing that. Love you. Okay. Just little details on boxes and crates. You could, if you wanted to make that, F it, we'll do it. If you wanted to make it look like it's, you know, been through a customs thing, right? So you can take whatever color stickers and ribbons and bullshit and things like that you've got and make like a seal on there and then break the tape and like scratch it up a little. You'll see. But I'll just use this because this has got like a some type of effect to it. We don't need the whole thing. We could just use half. Yeah, that'll work. So when you travel in Gimmick, people come from places all over. So sometimes the luggage and stuff comes with like sealed, essentially just proof that it's not full of like alien eggs or something like that. Or maybe it was. And it comes with a customs seal on it. And right now, that's what we're calling this. We're calling this the customs son of a bitch. We're going to call this the custom seal on here. We'll put it on there, possibly, maybe, if it'll stick. There we go. Okay. Why is this not adhering? Okay. That's strange. You know what we need to do, kids? we need to find the super glue that I was looking for originally. And what's so funny is I was using the super glue yesterday for something. I can't even remember what I was fixing. There you are. There you are, you stupid super glue slut. I know what you're into, super glue. I know the type of shit that you do. Are you kidding me? Do. Son of a bitch. Nope. Maybe. I can't tell if it's empty or if it's just clogged. It's likely clogged. But how much effort do I want to put into this before I just get a new tube of super glue out? Guess we find out now. Okay. You know, I had one, and then I threw it away because it got too gummed up with super glue. Crazy how that worked out for me. Okay. See, sometimes I should have just gone with my initial thought and just grabbed a new tube, but I wasted a little bit of effort on that. If I was getting paid by the hour, that'd have been fucking costly. You can, but you're gonna want to abrade the surface first, so make sure you sand it first, Bjorn. And also, a self-etching primer doesn't hurt in that case. But that comes right out of a spray can, so you don't even have to worry about that. Okay. Come on. What is with this fucking sticker? Not wanting to do it here. It's in your name, sticker. It's part of your job, is to just stick. That's your whole career, is to just stick. There we go. That looks like shit, but that's okay. because I'm going to put a drop of glue right there, and then I'm going to use this fancy little knife here to push it down, ensure that it fucking adheres. There you go, buddy. Damn near stuck on there now. See, she still opens, but it's got a custom seal on it. Okay. That really does not want to stick. This is fascinating to me. I need to understand why. Is it because there's paint underneath it and it's not really great paint? What's the problem? All right, let's take care of this too. Good enough. Cool. So those are taken care of. That's doing its thing here. So like, we did some neat little stuff today. It wasn't like a big project. It was just kind of like fiddling with smaller bits and making stuff in the background look more convincing, right? Things looking more lived in. Radio. It's got some stickers and some graffiti on it, like somebody personalized it. This toolbox, again, looks more weathered now, has different colors on it that'll pick up on camera, stickers. This, whatever this is, this type of battery thing, I changed that up. Perfectly good, you know. Little case here that can be used for things. You know, it's got about, it's got a little custom sticker on it now. It looks like it's been traveled with. We still talking about styrene? What's going on with that? Yeah. Yep. That's a fast way to make that. That son of a bitch really does not want to stick. This is gonna keep me up tonight if I don't get it to stick. So don't mind me as I tumble into madness over a sticker that I applied super glue to that won't adhere. Yep, I think it's the paint that's on there. Anybody ever think of the implications of, you know, Dolly Parton singing Styrene instead of Jolene? No? Just me? Spin on it! And then stick it in. What are we talking about? That's usually just my go-to advice. This fucking tape. Ugh. Oh, easy with the twist it there, Chief. Okay. Okay. You bitch. Wow. Cool. Better. Train. I'd be a little more lively if it were the Russians, you know? I feel like I would move with a little more urgency. You'd hear me say things like, it's the fucking Russians! And Wolverines! Or, you know, I'd make some declarative statements about the Spetsnaz and better dead than red. That type of stuff. High school mascot was a Wolverine. That's awesome. That is fucking awesome, Bjorn. I am a little jealous. Ours was a Native American gentleman. And since we have moved away from the name Indians, at their request, again, at the tribe's request, not just the state of New York, but at the request of the actual tribe, we moved away from that name. We have a different name now. And for some reason, a lot of the boomers and people apparently that I went to high school with who I thought were normal human beings cannot let that go. And they bitch, moan, and it's still the Indians to me. They're still always going to be the Indians to me. It's like, this is why your kids aren't going to visit you. You can't even fucking let that go. That's why your children aren't going to visit you. Mustang Sally. Bathroom. High school mascot, wild cat, and then Trojan. Nice. Well, all right, kids. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to dip out of here. I'm going to go get the super glue and other bullshit off my paws. If you're new, show Cat before you end stream. She just curled up and she's ready to go to sleep. Now she's going to be pissed because I'm going to wake her up. Meow meow. Snowflake. Hey. Snowflake. She's pretending she can't hear me. But I'll get up and I'll go near the door and suddenly she will want to be involved. But if you're new to the channel, and a lot of you guys are new to the channel, we had a lot of new visitors tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. There's a Patreon, there's free tier, so check that out. There is Ko-Fi, all kinds of different ways to support me. But I appreciate you guys being here. If you have a question, if you're watching it on the replay team, reach out to me, drop a comment down below, or find me on Instagram. I'll be happy to answer for you. Be well, guys. Too sweet me.